What's up, guys? How are we doing? I haven't been able to post for the week because my grandmother and my mother actually came down, and they've been here for the last week, and I just kind of wanted to make a deep video talking about my mom. This is going to be a really hard video for me to talk about, but the point of this channel is the trauma dump, and I'm going to do that a little bit. If you haven't watched my other videos, I've mentioned several times that my mother was not a good parent. We lived with 13 different guys growing up. She had me when she was 15. She introduced me to drugs and alcohol at 10 years old. And whenever I finally got old enough to understand her choices, understand the shit that she was putting us in and the situation she was putting us in, me and my sister, we started to not get along. And she sent me off to rehab when I was 14. And my mom was not a good person. She fucked over good guys, and for whatever reason, wanted bad ones. She literally in high school found the best man that she's ever dated. Out of all the 13 guys that she's dated, the dude that she dated in high school was the only one that ever actually asked me permission to date my mother. He was a really good man, and he ended up dying from COPD. And the last year that he was alive, well, my mom was cheating on him and talking about how he was a baby and was babysitting and blah fucking blah while doing meth. The other good guy that she dated was whenever I was around 14, whenever I went to rehab, and we actually bonded off of the mistreatment of my mother to him, because she was walking around cheating on him and just using him for his money. My mother, for some reason, anytime she had a good guy, always fucked him over and wanted a bad one. My mother has dated dudes that have legitimately... I remember one day we got picked up from school, me and my sister, and this guy was drunk, grabbing the wheel of the car, almost making us wreck, and threatened to kill her and us. I was 12. That's the type of guys that my mom dated and put us around growing up. And she wasn't good to me. I thought whenever I would have had a kid that I would understand her more. And I don't. I understand her even less. Because the second that I heard that I was even had a chance at having a kid, I sobered the fuck up and got my shit together. She never did. She was on dope practically my entire life. On opiates. On Xanax. Drinking. Smoking. I smoked my first joint with her. Had my first drink with her. Whenever I didn't want to go over to her abusive boyfriend's house, she would literally give me a Perk 10 along with the Soma, which is a muscle relaxer, so I wouldn't care. I did not have a childhood. Now, to be fair, she was 15 when she had me, so she didn't really have one either. If there's one thing that I'll give her credit for, it's that she had to do what she had to do to survive. Bouncing from guy to guy, doing the stupid shit she did. It was survival. And I've slowly started to see that. And while I don't condone the choices that my mother made and the shit that she put us through, I do at least recognize as a parent that it is not easy. surviving out here, especially being a single one. But she was just so awful to us. For example, you want to know what she told me when me and my high school sweetheart that I thought I was going to marry broke up after 3 years of dating, who had been basically living with us, who was like part of the family when we broke up? You want to know what my mom's advice was? Get over it, pussy. Get a dog. And so I got that dog back there. I've had Coraline since I was 18, right after I got dumped. When I hit a certain age, that I started realizing how malicious, how manipulative, how impulsive of a liar my mother was, I started not getting along with her. And she hated me, I think. I think she genuinely did. Because she never would tell me that she was proud of me. She always wanted to see me fail. When I was in high school, I worked, I played sports, and I had straight A's. And would still just, you need to pick work or sports because there's no way you're going to be able to maintain those grades, and would just always, would never say, you're doing a good job. You know, in high school, it was my job to get my sister up and ready for school and shit, and whenever we were really young, and we had abusive guys that were threatening to kill us, it was my job to protect my sister. There was one day that the same dude that threatened to kill us was beating the living shit out of my mother, and I picked my sister up, threw her on my back, and I ran a mile to a bank and called the police. My point is that my mom was not a good parent. And when I hit 18, I moved out. I couldn't fucking take it anymore. And I left my sister behind. And she became the punching bag. And my mom was on dope at this time. And I just could not deal with her. My mom was so horrible that I actually got a house that was very close to where she lived. And she called the person that I was renting from and lied to them, all hopped up on meth. She actually called the police one time on me, all high on meth, because we got into an altercation and she put hands on me and I shoved her and I left. And she called the police and had me on the phone while she was calling the police and made this sob story. Like, I have so many stories I could tell. She one time got prescribed 5 milligram Vicodin, right? Hydrocodone. And this was back when the shit was still written, not typed. And she changed it to 10 milligrams and got caught. You want to know what she did? Said I did it. My own mother was willing to put me in prison for something she did. Now, luckily, nobody bought that. Because why in the fuck? Why would I change your script? How does that benefit me? When I hit 18, I moved out. She went off the deep end. She changed my bedroom into a fucking meth dealing room and lost my sister. My sister got taken away. And when that happened, I stopped talking to her officially. I cut her out of my life. I didn't talk to her at all. I didn't talk to her for years, actually. And then Persephone came along. And my mom actually came over briefly after Persephone was born and met her. And kind of stayed for like a week, and then I kind of told her to get the fuck out. And the only time we ever hung out we drank. And unfortunately, all this pent-up rage, all this anger, all this animosity that I had towards her would come out in drinking. See, the problem is I never called her out. All I ever wanted that woman to do was take accountability for how shitty she was to us and apologize and mean it. And she never did. When Alicia got taken away, she didn't take any responsibility there. She blamed everybody else. Said it was bullshit that she got taken away. And when I started to realize that the opiates she used to give me at 10 years old and the drugs that she would give me and shit contributed highly to why I'm so mentally anxious and the way that I am now, I finally decided to call her out on it. I finally decided to give her a piece of my mind and said, what the fuck were you thinking? Why did you give me this stuff? Why did you do this? Like, I'm on Subutext to this day and struggle because you, like, why? Just why? And my last words to her were that I hated her. And then she had a stroke. When she had her stroke, the doctor said she was done. They basically called all the family, and this was like, you need to come up to the hospital, say your goodbyes, she's gone. So I thought my mom was going to die, and went to the hospital, and it took her 3 days to wake up. The doctor said even if she woke up, she would be so brain dead that she would be a vegetable. And they were wrong, apparently, because against all odds, she woke up and she isn't doing great. Her left side doesn't work. She can't talk. She clearly isn't mentally there. You say a long sentence and you can tell that she's not keeping up with you. Like, she knows who I am when she sees me. Like, she complimented my hair, and because she's always liked it when I grew my hair out. And, like, she's able to know what's in front of her, or know that she's watching football on the screen, right? But she's easily, like, you can't say long sentences to her. Like, you can tell when she's confused and she can't communicate simple things, and she needs a walker to walk. And after she had her stroke, I sat there beside her in bed after she was awake, not really knowing if she could understand what I was saying. And I just told her that I forgave her. That none of this shit matters now. That I don't agree with your methods. But I see that you did what you had to do to survive, and at the end of the day, I'm alive, Alicia's alive. And I forgive you. And I'm sorry for being so mean every time I got drunk around you, and I just wanted to find some sense of peace, because I never got that apology, right? And I'm never going to. And I wanted her to come live with me because I feel like it's my duty to take care of her as she exits this world, right? Like, I feel like any kid would feel that way about their parent. But, of course, my narcissistic ass family, who wouldn't take me away from her whenever I was begging them to, now won't let me see her whenever I'm begging them to, so. My mom now lives in Murfreesboro, So she used to live here, and now she lives in Murfreesboro. And that's why I'm kind of alone down here now. And she's basically living out the rest of her days living with my aunt. And she's miserable. Apparently last Christmas she was crying, calling my name, calling Alicia's name, wanted to see us, and my grandmother wanted me to call and make her feel better, and it's like, dude, she could be staying here with me. Like, I guarantee you she wants to live out the rest of her life with me and her only grandkid, not with you up there where she can't even take a fucking CBD gummy as a goddamn vegetable. Like, they literally won't even let her take CBD or do anything. Like at this point, she's probably got like 10 years left. You just kind of want to make, if she is physically improved as far as she's going to, now it's time to focus on mentally improving her, right? Mentally making sure that her final years are as comfortable as possible. And their answer to that is forcing her to live at a place that she doesn't want to live, away from her children, and won't even allow her to fucking take a Delta 8 gummy, or like you know how powerful marijuana is for shit like this. And like, my point is, like, she's living with people that only care about themselves. They don't care about her well-being and whatnot. They just care about the fact that they know that she's at the end of her life, so they want to be around her, right? That way, whenever she dies, they can go, yay, well, at least I got to spend the last whatever. But me, who has all this pent-up rage and aggression and needs solace, needs to find some peace with this woman before she goes, so I don't spend the rest of my life being so hateful and so angry at her. Fuck me, I guess. I mean, fuck me. They get to sit here and let her be mentally miserable for her last 10 years, and then they can give themselves a pat on the back whenever she dies and go, well, at least I got to spend time with her when I've only seen her twice. So I got to see her this week. And it was really hard. It's only the second time I've seen her since she had a stroke, so I don't know. I guess I thought she was doing better than she really was. She doesn't understand a word I'm fucking saying to her. And I'm just trying to figure out how to forgive, how to mend this relationship, find peace within it before she's gone. Persephone really took a liking to her, which I thought was amazing. She helped push her walker anytime she was walking. It was really sweet. And my grandmother and I don't get along very well. She's helped me a lot financially. I can honestly say if it wasn't for her, I would be homeless as fuck. But emotionally, she doesn't get things. She's spoiled, okay? My grandma's kind of spoiled. When you hear that conservative bitching about handouts and talking about how easy it is to make it and blah fucking blah, this is her. Like, she kind of had an easy life, and then when her parents died, she got a hell of an inheritance, so she was able to start her own business, and now she's a wealthy woman. And I'm not saying that she didn't work hard for it. What I am saying is that she's she's truly never had to experience what I've had to experience or what my mother had to experience. So she simply can't relate in any way. So she's not very emotionally available. She financially helps me, sure, but like whenever I started realizing I had an anxiety disorder and I went to her about it, what did she say? Well, stop being anxious. Damn, if only I would have thought of that one. Shit. When I come to her about having insomnia, well, try to lay there and go to bed. Damn, if only I would have thought about that. Come to her about depression, well, stop being sad. Stop worrying. Like, she doesn't get it, right? And she's really the only family I've got is my grandma. And I hate saying that we don't get along very well, but we just don't. I hate her political views. I hate that she sits here and she'll back up a dude that taught me that I'd be dirty if I ever kissed a fucking N-word. She'll back his views up on Facebook and sit here and talk about illegal immigrants and share falsely incorrect posts and is heavily conservative, yet has had the easiest life ever. And is going to watch her daughter die unhappy and spend the last 10 years of her life unhappy so she can be with her rather than let her live with me. So not only her daughter can be happy, but then maybe I can find some solace and peace taking care of my mother as she exits this world. It's not going to make things right. It's not going to make things better, but it'll at least show my mother that I love you. And despite the bullshit, I'm here for you. I'm going to be here, and I'm going to take care of you. And that would mend our relationship in a way. And I'm not going to get that opportunity. I'm probably going to see her like, I mean, what shit, this is the first time I've seen her in 2 years. That's when her stroke happened, was 2 years ago. It'll probably be another 2 years since I'll see her. I'll probably see my mother a total of like 3 times after her stroke before she dies. And then my family, that pretends to care about her mental well-being, can give themselves a big old pat on the back, knowing that they made the last 10 years of her life fucking miserable. The things that my mother put me through are why I am the way that I am. They're why I'm so angry. They're why I'm so anxious. My anxiety disorder is because of her. My lack of security, always moving, being with different guys, watching her fuck over good people, watching her be horrible to good men and choose a shitty one that beats the shit out of your kids over the nice guy. Watching how she was absolutely has to do with why I am the way I am, why I see women the way that I do, why I pick women like my ex-wife and want to help somebody like that. Like, and unfortunately, like I said in my trauma dumping video, like, I was a terrible partner to people at first because of seeing people like my mother. Just watch my mom falsely claim abuse after she cheats on somebody. Watch my mother sit here, like, I watched her make fun of and cheat on a guy whose dying wish was to take care of her. And she just made fun of him like he was a baby because he couldn't get up and laid there, suffering from COPD so bad that he literally couldn't move. And what did? She would just go around cheating on him, doing meth, shitting on him, making fun of him like she had to babysit. And he knew it. And he died knowing that. And he was such a good man. You don't watch a woman treat a man that way and then go on and be mentally capable of trust, right? Unfortunately, I worked a lot this week. I didn't get to hang out with them very much. I tried to take advantage of the fact that they were here and could watch Persephone, and Branson's busy because Halloween's coming up, and so I tried to take advantage of the fact that no Persephone. Now I can take all trips and we're good. And so I had yesterday and the day before off, but the day before, since I worked till 3 a.m., I slept till like 3 p.m. yesterday. And then I went to bed early yesterday because I got to turn around and get up early for work today. And then yesterday, we had to go grocery shopping, which Mom didn't come with. I understand why, because she didn't want to fucking get around and whatnot. And so the day was me grocery shopping and putting shit away, and so I didn't get a lot of actual sit down time with them. Anytime my grandma comes down, I really don't get much time to visit with her because I have to work, right? And she simply doesn't understand how shitty my schedule is to go from Fridays and Saturdays working until 3 a.m. to turning around and Tuesday working at noon. You gotta go from going to bed at 5 a.m. and sleeping to 3 p.m. to going to bed at 11 p.m. and waking up at 10 a.m. That's fucking hard to do. And Sunday and Monday, unfortunately, that's how my schedule goes. And I bawled my fucking eyes out whenever they left. Because I don't know if I'm ever even going to see my mom again. That's the facts. Once you have a stroke, you're susceptible to having another one. Another scary fact is my mom is only 42. She's only 15 years older than I am. I'm almost 30. Now, it was her lifestyle that made her have a stroke. A blood clot happened. I don't remember where, and caused her to have the stroke. But it's because of her lifestyle. It's because she was doing meth and drinking every day. Absolutely. And, I just want to find some sort of peace with her before she's gone, and I don't know how I'm supposed to do that if I can't even talk to her or can't even see her. I want to learn to forgive and let go. And it just breaks my heart to see how she is. Not understanding what the fuck I'm saying to her. I can't tell you guys how many times my mother said to me that if she ever winds up in a vegetated state, to just kill her. She used to say that all the time. It's almost like she knew or something, because so many times we'd be watching TV and somebody would be in a wheelchair or something, and she would just say, if I ever end up like that, please put a bullet in me. And now she is exactly like that. And me and my sister talk about it sometimes. And she did it to herself. She really did. But I don't know what to do. Persephone has me, her grandmother, who is probably not going to be around much longer, and her great-grandmother, my grandmother, who is 70. By the time Persephone is 20, my grandma will be 90. She's only going to have me. And if I carry this pent-up rage and aggression, I'll be lucky to make it past my mom's age. That woman fucked me up so bad. She was so horrible. Even still seeing her like this kills me. Fucking, it kills me, man. I say a sentence to her and she doesn't know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm never gonna get closure. I'm never gonna get a sorry. I'm never gonna get an I'm proud of you. I'm never gonna get any of that. Not that that's even important right now. Obviously, her being in her state is more important than me getting those things. I just wish there was a way to get closure on this, and I feel like the only way really is her to live with me and me take care of her as she exits this world. My family isn't going to let me do that because they would rather make her watch fucking Jesus shows, and my family sucks. There's a reason why I only talk to my grandmother. And even she's hard to talk to. A spoiled brat who's heavily conservative and can't back up the shit that she says. Shares horrible copy and paste conservative shit. And that's easily disprovable. She's just, I don't know. Persephone's really all I got. And what I do know is that my mom did what she had to do to survive. And to that, I applaud her, I guess. But putting me on opiates, being that cool parent that was allowing me to drink, smoke, pop pills at 10 years old, putting me in all these horrible situations where I had to protect my sister, putting me in these horrible situations where I had to sit here and be told by her boyfriends that if I ever become an inward lover, that I'll be dirty forever, that I'll be rotten, that blah fucking blah. Just the shit that I've been told by her boyfriends and the way that I've seen her treat the good ones. The way that she treated us, the way that she treated my sister, the way that when she first had her stroke there for a minute, I didn't really care. And that's gonna sound fucked up, but put yourself in my shoes, man. She had just gotten my sister taken away and we hadn't really talked for 3 years. And then when we did finally talk, she was on meth. So when she had her stroke, it was just like, well, that sounds about right. And I thought she was going to die that day. And I just want to let go of this anger and let it stop consuming me and find a way to find peace with her, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if this makes any sense. I'm very angry at her for everything that she's put me through. I'm very angry at her for making me feel the way that I feel as an adult. But at the same time, I want to make things right with her before she's gone, but I can't even do that because she's 10 hours away. And while I wish I could say it was a good week, obviously it was nice to see them, you know. Really just made me sad. And so, yeah, that's where I've been all week. I appreciate the support that I get on these videos. Thank you for watching.